India has surplus agriculture residue that is about 228 million metric tons, and other biogenic waste also that is available. So we can say that more than 400 or 500 million metric tons is available, which from carbon from this waste can be very well captured and converted in the form of energy. Then MNRE has set ambitious target of achieving bioenergy capacity of 15 gigawatt by 2030. There is also already announcement from CBG that 15 million metric tons while setting up 5,000 plants and 5% blending with LNG, that is from Government of India has the ambitious target, and 5% mandatory co-firing of biomass pellet in thermal power plant. This is because we have also supporting biomass, how this can be converted into pellets, briquettes, and co-generation. That scheme is also supported by MNRE. There is also why drivers I am saying there is a review by high level committee and AQMC, Air Quality Mission Commission, and Govardhan under COS Cabinet Committee of Secretaries. They regularly review this program, so there is a definitely interest in this sector. And most important is this, definitely bioenergy contributes to renewable energy capacity and apart from the crop residue management and multiple socio-economic benefits. When we talk about feedstock availability, we have this MNRE had 2 years back done the study through ASCI, and we found that almost 7-8 major crops which contribute to 228 surplus agriculture biomass which is available, which can generate almost, if we say it in terms of power, 42 gigawatt can be produced from this resource. Then municipal solid waste 62 million tons per annum, and sewage waste is 72,368. Animal dung is available more than 1,600 million tons per annum, and sugarcane bagasse. So these all, if we combine, there is a good resource available. So we have surplus this residue available to utilize for the energy potential. And we have calculated also how much energy potential and this energy can be captured from this available biomass and other residues. The power from surplus agri is 28 gigawatt, and bagasse based cogeneration 14 gigawatt can be produced. Molasses based ethanol 47,675 kiloliters per day, that is the potential. And biomass based ethanol, here I am talking about molasses, whereas this is a agriculture residue. This is again 1,195 can be added from produced kiloliters per day for using biomass agriculture residue. The bio-CNG production potential without excluding paddy straw, this is a 43.7 thousand TPD, whereas if you utilize the paddy straw 16.6, so total 60,000 TPD can be produced. There is a potential of production of this much tons of bio-CNG from agriculture residue. And methanol, if you want to look at dimethyl ether and methanol, again 20 million tons per annum. So this much, that is the potential, just to give the idea how much potential is in that. The slides are that way, screen is up now. I hope you can see this thing. So National Bioenergy Program, which already our Honorable Minister has mentioned about this details, so I will not go into detail, but just to highlight that there is a budget outlay sanction. This scheme was announced in November 22, and budget outlay was 1,715 crore. This was available in 2 phases. This has 3 components: waste to energy, biomass, and biogas. So under waste to energy, again I will go to next subsequent slide. So 600 crore was allocated for waste to energy, and biomass 158, and for small biogas, which we are talking about today, small and medium size, 100 crore was allocated. So all the applications are submitted online, and there is minimal documentation. And just know that 20% subsidy, higher subsidy is given for special category states like Goshalas and northeastern states. This is, when we talk about ecosystem, this is very important, and so during this decade a very good ecosystem has developed with stakeholders, connecting with stakeholders, and BDTCs are important stakeholders. For example, IIT Delhi is also one of the BDTCs. Total 8 BDTCs have been sanctioned by MNRE approved, and they are working very hard. They are giving trainings as well as helping for installation of biogas plants. Implementing agencies are definitely state nodal agencies are there, like UP NEDA is here, and other agencies, state agents, they are looking at biogas program is implemented through state nodal agencies and other BDTCs and national agencies. There are almost 47 agencies are there. Whereas inspection agency NIBE, which is an autonomous institute of MNRE, has been very helpful, and this is a technical arm for MNRE, and also state nodal agencies are helping in inspection. Awareness initiative, many multiple programs are there for respective things. Samarth Mission, NIBE, Bioenergy Association, and we also launched a vehicle which will go for awareness. That scheme was, that program is also been done. This year also we'll be doing campaign for awareness and why to avoid stubble burning. So we look forward to receiving. We are focusing mostly on in Punjab, Haryana, and Western UP states where paddy is the larger crop area. The policy making, again with in consultation with stakeholders and feedback from various ministries, we are working on policy and revision and guidelines whenever there is a need on that. So line ministries, there is you all are aware that Govardhan portal is there. Under that, various ministries are involved, which are giving complementary scheme, running complementary scheme, and also subsidy and other central governance assistance is given to those. MNRE, besides MNRE, MOPNG gives for agriculture collection of biomass. Then Mahua is also giving support for biomethanation plant for municipal solid waste, and agriculture ministry gives for crop residue management machinery. Then Ministry of Fertilizer, Department of Fertilizers gives MDA, market development assistance for promoting the slurry, FM, solid fermented organic manure and solid fermented organic manure. The financial fund flow is, I'm not going to detail about this, everything is available on MNRE website, and detailed guidelines are also there. So beneficiaries are basically registered entities, PSUs, thermal power plant, farmers, goshalas, processing industries, and the farmers. Farmers are the direct beneficiaries in that. And yearly review is being done at higher levels. As I mentioned, Air Quality Mission Commission is also there, Committee of Secretaries and PMO. At that level, the Govardhan and other schemes are reviewed on regular basis. This is just two examples of the showing, because we have set up multiple plants which are successfully running and commissioned. Biomass gasification unit in Bihar, because we hardly receive any proposals from Bihar. There are just 1 or 2 proposals, but we have reached to all states. So there is a good response for this scheme, and we are also looking forward for phase 2 soon, launching the phase 2 program. This is again paddy straw based. This is exclusively paddy straw based bio CNG project in Sangrur. CFA pattern, this central financial assistance which is given under the waste energy program and biogas program. This is for various, based on application we have a different SIM, but for CBG particularly rupees 4 crore is given for 1 TPD, can say 4.8 TPD, and that is almost 1 megawatt equivalent. Whereas for biogas generation, it's 25 lakhs for 12,000 meter cube, and maximum cap is for 5 crores. For bio-CNG generation, as I mentioned, 4 crore for new plants, 4.8 ton, it's for 4 crore, and 3 crores for the existing plant. Then another is the 75 lakhs for new biogas plant, that is biogas to power. So application based, the subsidy is changing. For new plants, this is always it is higher, whereas for existing plant, if you want to expand the capacity, then the subsidy is little lower. Agriculture industrial waste to power, 40 lakhs here again per megawatt, and maximum cap is for 5 crores. A biomass gasifier based 2,500 per kilowatt. This is, I am talking about the fuel engines, dual fuel engines, different application, thermal as well as electrical application. This is a medium scale biogas. So if there are, this is useful for dairy sector, goshalas, this medium scale, this comes under the medium biogas scheme. Whereas the CBG large more than 2500 cubic meter capacities, those come under the waste to energy program. Coming to the biogas program, where MNRE has been supporting the small as well as medium sized biogas under this program, where mostly beneficiaries are farmers. The small biogas is for the range of 1 cubic meter to 25 cubic meter, whereas the medium size is for 25 to 2500 cubic meter. So you can see all these projects, they are from medium size, small size are mostly average demand is for 2 cubic meter, family size if families of 7 to 8 members, and if they have cattle of 7 to 8. So this is the average, and that is the most popular 2 cubic meter program. So this is the subsidy or pattern. So in all cases the subsidy is given at the end, no advance is given in each of the cases. All of the cases the subsidy is given once the plant is commissioned. So this 9,800, the range is from this to 70,400, from 1 cubic meter to 25 cubic meter. It increases, and there is category wise, this is different for SC/ST categories, and we are also trying if we can do some additional incentives for women beneficiaries, if we could do that. For medium scale, 35,000 to 45,000 rupees is given per kilowatt for power generation, whereas for thermal application it is 17,500 to 22,000. So you don't need to note these things, everything is available on website guidelines. This is just a case study how women can be benefited by using the small biogas, which provides clean cooking fuel, smoke free cooking, and women can also save her cooking time and she can utilize that for other productive things. And also empowerment, as well as women can also have built in that confidence that she can own these things, and she does. Women also are contributing to the larger goal of climate change mitigation. So this is very used to friendly, and training programs also reach to all these women and men beneficiaries. So larger, that is a very good skill development program is done through BDTCs. So as this program is run by IIT Delhi, which is an important partner and stakeholder for the training program, MNRE has supported 8 such training centers in the country, and they are very doing very important and key role in skill development, specifically for inspection agencies, and how to set up this plant as well as monitoring also. This is very important. And so far in last year 550 training sessions have been conducted by these 8 BDTCs across the country, benefiting more than 10,000 development program training skills and all. So this training includes farmers training as well as turnkey workers and officers from SNAs also. So we would extend that to, we can provide this training, and BDTC's contact we can provide to state nodal agencies and states, so that directly you can contact and get this your demand based this support can be given. So as I mentioned, so their role is very important and vital for this, and also to improve the program and work together and develop this sector entirely there. So I'm just saying how this impact can be created. Yesterday I thought that this is Bio E7 impact. So I just thought of how this is contributing biogas program in contributing to energy security, environment benefits, then growing economy of the country, employment generation, empowerment of women as well as farmers, and developing enterprises, and finally ecology. So all these aspects are important, and this biogas, or at all scale, whatever range is there, so this can contribute to this. So to just give the numbers, so far 207 kgs, tons of CBG generation per annum, this is the capacity has been generated, and biogas to power installed capacity is 95 megawatt equivalent, whereas the biogas generation is 83,020 meter cube per day. And small biogas in last 2 years we have installed almost more than 34,000 in numbers in the country. Though this number is not very large, we are looking forward to get more funds so that we give good target, but we also request state agencies to give demand accordingly. The MNRE can give target and allocate the biogas plants. The biomass utilization is also very important, which we are not considering in this today's workshop. But that biomass, how this can be utilized for CBG efficiently, and almost 2.07 million tons per annum, that much consumed in the CBG projects, which is also very important. Besides cow dung, this is another important, which we can avoid the use the surplus biomass and avoid the stubble burning in this sector. Organic manure generation, this is also valuable product, and maximum revenue also can be generated by marketing this. And there are good examples that how this biogas as well as manure can go together, and it can become a good business model. So 1.8 million tons per annum, this much organic manure is generated. And CO2 emission saving, this is again very important aspect. So only from the biogas plants or whatever we have installed, 34,000, almost 1,46,307 tons of CO2 emissions have been saved by installing this small biogas program. So there is a good multiple advantage of this biogas program, and with help from stakeholders, with contribution from stakeholders, we can achieve the target. This is just a website for if you want anyone to go through these portals and get additional information. Thank you all of you and if there are any questions, I would be happy to answer this. Thank you.
Any questions?
One point I just missed, innovations, just listed innovations in various areas because we have many experts have come today. One is for CBG plants specifically, we need to utilize mixed feedstock. So we need to have robust technology which can utilize mixed feedstock, not dependent on any single feedstock. Biomass quality while storage, because for example some paddy straw they need to store for entire year, and during that period there is deterioration of the quality. So how this quality can be maintained with respect to the carbon content? If pre-treatment can happen during storage, that would add value to this, because this pre-treatment will give better yields, the HRT would be reduced. This is what I expect. I think we have experts here. This recycling of slurry, whatever slurry comes, if that could be utilized, what are the impacts, whether the yield goes higher, how much yield is increased, the biodigested slurry. And again carbon capture, which is important during the purification, and of course overall yield of methanol, how we can improve that, and purity of that, whether we can purify further till 100%, those things. Yes, how much cost is there, what all things we need to do. So these are just, I have those come into my mind, and I'm just working this. So all these research and scientists, we can help in that, and it should be like scalable, that whatever technologies are there, if it is scalable, and then industries can adopt these innovations quickly. Thank you once again.
Thank you so much, ma'am. So, okay. And now I cordially invite